Oh, right. They're not saying that. They don't care about him at all. They never cared about the truth.
He's so
It's just
smug.
that when they thought Smollett was making it up, they were like, oh, the media got it wrong. They blame Trump people and they're the worst fake news. Oh, the media got it wrong. They blame Trump people and they're the worst fake news. Now I don't see any of the right wing caring about fake news. And if the media.
Oh, no. How did I forget that that was in here? No wonder this has 250,000 views. All right. No subtitles, not necessary. Okay, one more time. Why did I do the red first and not the change? By the way, monitor Anna Kasparian's facial expression when Cenk starts yelling.
They don't care about him at all. They never cared about the truth.
Oh,
it's just that when they thought Smollett was making it up, they were like, oh, the media got it wrong. They blame Trump people and they're the worst fake news. Oh, the media got it wrong. They blame Trump people and they're the worst fake news.
No.
Now I don't see any of the right wing caring about fake news. And if the media got it wrong in blaming Jussie Smollett.
Let's see. What's up, guys? Sean here, and today we're going to talk about TYT's reaction to Jussie Smollett's charges being dropped. Because this reaction is amazing. If you were to... Okay, so let me see the settings. Okay, it's on 480 right now. Okay. This is an old video. I could tell by the crackle in my sound. This is from 2019. So it's actually not that old, the Smollett case. Like a little bit of background, if you guys don't remember, was you missed that intro. I know. I might bring it back every now and again. So if you guys don't remember, at this time, the Jussie Smollett case was like the third hoax that the left had gotten into within the same month. Like the Smollett one was at the end of the month. The first one was that Jasmine Barnes thing. And I never made a video mocking TYT for the Jasmine Barnes thing because their response to that was so outrageous. I might have to dig that up and react to that instead of this. Somebody says, what happened to the intro? So the reason the intro left is because for certain videos, I had like an opening that I wanted to say, and throwing the intro after the opening in like 2 minutes into the video just didn't seem to make a lot of sense. So, I'm not afraid to like change things up. Also, I literally don't have my intro on a file. I actually go into my editing software and then I copy and paste all the stuff from thing to thing. So I stopped doing the intro for like 3 videos in a row. So then I would have to go back 3 separate projects in order to dig it out. So like eventually it just became a thing of laziness and something that I didn't think really fit in the videos that I was doing. But I might bring it back every now and again. I think I brought it back for one video where I just played it over somebody talking. And somebody told me Michael Brooks was 36. That's horrible, honestly. Like I didn't like the guy. I didn't like his show. I don't like Majority Report. But to die suddenly at 36, that's not that much older than I am. That's, horrific and, really sad. And also, I don't know if this plays into it, but the fact that people haven't been able to go see doctors and all this, like due to this whole pandemic, like that could have played a part in it. So it's just tragic all around because I'm sure Brooks, knowing that he had a pre-existing medical condition, was very much on the side of like, let's take this seriously. So it's horrible all the way around. And, my heart goes out to his family and even the people at Majority Report that I don't like, And somebody says no elective visits, but like, here's the thing is my mom works at a hospital and in New York, and New York was hit particularly hard. And they actually started closing off one by one, wing by wing of the hospital, including the operating room. So you could say no elective procedures. What that means is that you could come into the emergency room for stuff, but they also got rid of scheduled stuff that they thought that they could put off. So, it's just, it's horrible. Like, honestly. And I'm pretty sure they do Majority Report in New York. So, honestly, like, I'm legitimately sad to hear that. I would have done, like, reaction videos to Michael Brooks, but I'm not, like, unusually harsh in my reaction videos. Like, I don't attack people personally. And, so it's not like, I think I have one video where I talk about him doing something, like, really dirty with Anna Kasparian to Dave Rubin. But even then, I'm not, like, super sharp on how like I'm not personal with him. So yeah, you know, all in all, everybody's still in the you know, everybody talking politics online, they're still in the same arena. So there is like a level of, you know, you're kind of on the same team in that you do this for a living. So yeah, it's genuinely sad. Again, I'm not a viewer of a show. Didn't like a lot of the content that I saw from him, but weirdly, we were watching his reaction to the Alex Jones being confronted by his fan in a store. And like his reaction is one of the funnier videos because he's just laughing through it as like Alex and Milo are sitting in the store and they're just like they're just stunned and they clearly don't want to be there. So, you know, sad day. I'm legitimately sorry. I'm sure it's like a horrible like feeling for those that were close to him. But yeah, I'm gonna move on to the video because this isn't. I'm not trying to be a downer stream. And again, I didn't know the guy, didn't like the guy, but you know. So there's that. Now on that light note, let's move into this. So first of all, I gotta like my own video, right? 10,000 likes. That's pretty good. 10,000 likes to 362 dislikes. The TYT army not very strong. This video has over 250,000 views. And it's about Cenk's reaction to the whole Jussie Smollett thing. And look, right here in my suggestions, I got Cenk lies for Mike Brown. But if I had autoplay, the up next would be Fox News because Fox News is a mainstream outlet. Really good job, YouTube. I don't want to watch Fox News.
To ask the Young Turks to tell you what their brand is, they'd say it's all about justice. They fight for the powerless against the powerful that use their privilege and positions of power in order to influence the systems that are America to get outcomes that those of us who do not have those privileges could never possibly get. So when I found out that Jussie Smollett, through political connections with the district attorney, was able to get his charges dropped and his record sealed, I knew.
What's funny about this is like, obviously this is like sarcastic. The audio is not as good over here. Like I did not have my mic situation figured out back then. But like the dramatic zoom on what I'm saying, as obviously the whole point of this video is that the Young Turks are not living up to their creed. Kind of unnecessary, but at the same time, I found it funny. And I'm sure a lot of people found it funny because this video has 10,000 likes and over 250,000 views.
That the place to go for coverage on this, for honest, hard-hitting coverage on this corrupt turn of events, was the Young Turks. I mean, honestly, on paper, this story has everything that TYT fights against. But of course, Cenk Uygur decided to have the worst take humanly possible on this story.
Jussie Smollett is no longer facing...
Ooh, hard cut to Kasparian. You know, I've gotten better over time, I think, at setting up the clips. You know, actually leading into them more because I'm like, Cenk Uygur had the worst take on it humanly possible. And then I jumped to Kasparian talking, which is a little disillusioning clip, but you know, there's that. Even your Batman shirt that has red wings looks good on you. Are you talking about the shirt that I'm wearing in the video and not the shirt that I'm wearing now? Because this one is the Batman Beyond shirt. Everybody should know that. It's pretty good. Somebody says, yeah, you need to ease into it. Is that a comment about me transitioning to the video? Probably accurate. I mean, if I'm being honest. I've actually never met Kasparian. I have met Cenk Uygur, and I actually did meet Cenk's nephew, but this was like way back before he even had, before he was even really on the Young Turks on air. He gave me a free T-shirt because I showed up to the Mad as Hell premiere in New York City. Anna wasn't there. I could have met Anna and John Idarola. If you guys have ever seen that famous clip of the Armenian kids at the California version of that like college show that they were doing, they were going to do one of those at my university, and I had ticket to go to that show. So I was like ready to go, but some girl asked me to hang out with her. So I literally abandoned it last minute. But I could have met Kasparian in whatever capacity you're able to meet them when they do that show, but I chose not to. However, I did watch my school's version of it back, and I realized that the people I was going to school with were incredibly ignorant on politics. Like they had a segment where they're like, what would be something you would want discussed in the presidential debate that definitely won't be discussed? And one of the kids got up and was like, gentrification. Gentrification is people moving into poor neighborhoods and making them nicer. That's what gentrification is. It's not a national issue. It's a local issue. First of all, it's a non-issue. But if it were to be any issue, it would be a local issue. And that's what those kids wanted them to be discussing in the presidential debate. My university, everyone. That's how I feel. Yes, Anna is much better than me. My mods can determine whether or not certain swear words are allowed, but obviously you guys have to, even if I mod you, you have to follow Twitch terms of service and all that. Also, I'm not approving of the comments related to Anna Kasparian's appearance. How dare you? You guys disgust me, and I'm offended, and I will bid you good day as I go back to watching this video. So let's play this.
Any charges in a case that has received nationwide attention. He is the actor from Empire who alleged that he was attacked by two Trump-supporting individuals who had also yelled racial epithets at him as they were attacking him. And now prosecutors dropped all charges against Empire actor Jussie Smollett just weeks after he was indicted on 16 felony counts for allegedly filing a false police report. So I want to read you a statement from the Cook County State Attorney's Office. These are the prosecutors who had initially pursued Smollett on these 16 felony.
Oh, so just a heads up, whenever you see the page curl transition that I put in, the reason I put the page curl transition is because it's an obvious transition. I once was accused of editing somebody out of context and trying to deceive people in the audience, but I used the page curl because that, like, first of all, it's obvious. You could see that there's a transition there, but also turning the page gives the illusion in your mind that there is a continuation in time. I'm like letting Anna set this up for me so she can do part of my work in setting up the story for me, but yeah. Let's see what we got.
Charges. They said, quote, "We did not exonerate Smollett. The charges were dropped in return for Smollett's agreement to do community service and forfeit his $10,000 bond to the city of Chicago." So while his lawyers are trying to spin this as if he was wronged and he definitely did not stage this, just understand what the prosecutors in the case are saying. They're not saying that he was found to be innocent. They're saying we just decided to drop it, and in return, he's going to do community service and he's going to leave that $10,000 bond to the city of Chicago.
So they start off with a decent summary of the recent developments in the story. I do want to point out that some things were a little misstated and some things were left out. For instance, Jussie Smollett is not doing any community service. What they did say was that he did community service in the past, like his normal charity work or whatever he did in Chicago prior to this incident, and they're going to give him credit for that. And the other major thing that was left out is that the case against Smollett, all of the evidence has been sealed, which is very unusual for a case not involving a juvenile. And the
yeah, that is, I forgot about that. It's like Smollett, like he forfeited his $10,000 bond, which to him, nothing. Like what these TV guys, he was like probably in the second string of cast members on Empire. So that's nothing. But the fact that they didn't even make him do community service, they just said, well, based on your impact in the community, we're going to give you some credit for that. Like nobody gets that deal. Like you can't stage a hate crime, get all these police involved, national media, all that, and then somehow randomly get credit for past community service. Like that's crazy. Also, this is not a Batman shirt for somebody who said Red Wings. It literally says Diamond Dogs on there. That's not a Batman shirt. You're wrong. You should be ashamed.
Final thing that's not mentioned in this summary of events is that it was discovered via Freedom of Information Act request that a former Michelle Obama staffer and members of the Smollett family were in contact with the district attorney, and the district attorney should have actually recused herself due to the fact that the nature of this contact was meant to help Jussie Smollett, and that gives the appearance of corruption, especially when you cut a sweetheart deal for him.
Oh my God. All these ads. All right, I don't need that music. Skip.
Look, we're
All right. I don't too many ad breaks in my videos. Yeah. Sean is whiter than me, and I have blonde hair and blue eyes. Yeah, so in this lighting, which is like daylight lighting that I don't have time to color correct because again, this is live. Yeah, I'm lighter because the lights are daylight, so I'm a little bit washed out. Like if you look at my normal videos, I'm hella Hispanic. Somebody says ew ads. Yeah, I don't pay for any YouTube premium service if you guys can't tell, so we're gonna have to deal with the ads. Somebody says, does watching an entire ad through help you at all? Well, I do make money off of advertisements on my videos, so yeah, but I don't think you have to let it play all the way through. I think there's like a threshold. I just don't know it. And honestly, like I would say view YouTube videos as what you call it, view YouTube videos in a way that makes you more comfortable. Like don't let advertisements play for no reason, like just for me. That's too much time. But yeah, you could just pull up your own video that wasn't uploaded on YouTube. Yeah, except this is from last year, and like I operate on external hard drives, and like these like 4 terabyte external hard drives, and this video is from the beginning of 2019, so that's 2 hard drives ago. So I'd have to dig it out, look it up, and all that. Also, my StreamYards doesn't. Certain apps it won't play through the thing, like, and I have to use StreamYards because the Streamlabs OBS is just too slow on my MacBook. Like maybe if this like Twitch streaming works out, I'll get like one of those gaming PCs and be able to do more stuff. But yeah, this is the system that we have to go with. What I could do theoretically is go turn off the ads, watch the video, and then turn it back on, like after. But I'm not gonna do that. So just deal with that. We need to set you up with a home server. Yeah, I'll build it in my bathroom like Hillary Clinton. Can you do another Devin Tracy style video with your rabbit avatar? I might just do the mask. The whole thing with the Devin being like my mask being superimposed on Devin, that was like a joke, and then a lot of people took that seriously. Like the whole joke was there's nothing like this avatar on YouTube because he was banned from YouTube. There's that. Do you identify as Latinx? Latinx is not a thing. So, no. All right, let's get Cenk's response. This is what I'm here for.
We're going to go to Rahm Emanuel's statement in just a minute, but understand that I fully acknowledge that what Smollett allegedly did was wrong, and I was very upset and angry about it. But after hearing Rahm Emanuel speak, it makes me want to support Smollett.
Yeah, this has so many twists and turns, guys. I got a couple twists for you after we listen to the mayor. Let's watch.
A grand jury.
Okay, so he's like, this has so many twists and turns. I have more twists after we listen to the mayor. So the mayor says nothing wrong, right? And I'm just gonna skip to Cenk's reaction because that's what we're all here for, to relive this moment.
Release statements on other issues
I skip
that had
forward.
nowhere near the level of national coverage as this did.
Look, everything that he's saying is right. He's not saying anything wrong. The thing that really turned me off to Rahm Emanuel is that he usually doesn't say anything. When is Rahm Emanuel making public statements about anything? And all of a sudden, this is what he's decided. No, I am gonna make a public appearance. I'm gonna do a press conference, and I'm gonna use very strong language against Jussie Smollett. Look, again, what he's saying isn't wrong. There are moral, ethical issues here. But out of all the things to be outraged about, I just find it strange that this is the thing that Rahm Emanuel felt the need to come out and make a strong public statement about.
To me, this is petty criticism that doesn't really belong in this video. The idea that Rahm Emanuel wouldn't make a statement on this giant news story that happened in this city when the state's attorney basically undercut the Chicago PD and the city of Chicago and is allowing Jussie Smollett to get off scot-free. Like, that's a ridiculous notion. Of course he's going to make a statement about that.
He's doing two things. One is, I'm with the cops.
Oh, here we go, Cenk. See, the way that they cover political stories, this is what's fascinating about the Young Turks, is that if it vaguely fits their narrative, they will adjust the facts to make it 10 times harsher so that, their political opponents will be attacked. But in this video, like they're criticizing Rahm Emanuel for commenting on what had become a national story at the time. Like Jussie Smollett was on Good Morning America the day that they decided to arrest him. So this was a huge story. Remember, Ellen Page went on one of those late night shows and she blamed Mike Pence for what happened to him. And of course, Cenk has to turn this into a cops are bad thing. If you look at him, he's like so excited. He's like, oh, I'm going to say that Emmanuel's trying to say he's with the cops. Yeah, the mayor, you know, the person in charge of the police department, should have a good relationship with the police department. Like we're seeing some of the negative consequences of that in New York City, where they don't have a good relationship. Like it ends up hurting your legitimacy in the eyes of the cops. So like this is like such a non-point, and they spend so much time in their video distracting from what is the actual story, because this is yet another time of them being burned by covering a story that was it was too good to fact check. So yeah. Let's get into Cenk. Like I'm pretty sure this is the moment that I decided I was making the response video to this, because it was absurd.
I'm protecting the cops, okay? And number two is he's protecting his own reputation, because it was the city that said Smollett did it. Now prosecutors are apparently at least not sure.
I like how Cenk is just throwing buzzwords out to his audience.
Prosecutors are not sure. Like, what are you talking about, Cenk? Everybody's sure. They just cut him a deal.
Rahm Emanuel's just trying to signal that he's with the cops. Well, why wouldn't he be in this case? The police are being undercut. This is Cenk insulting the intelligence of his audience by just throwing out a cop's bad line in the middle of this story, even though it really has nothing to do with this story at all. There's no allegations of official misconduct on behalf of the police. But cops bad, Rahm Emanuel with the cops, so Rahm Emanuel bad, even though Rahm Emanuel is exactly right in this case. Somebody that I almost never agree with is 100% right in this case.
So the check that he gave them, the $3,500 check that he gave to the Osundario brothers that actually did this, people were like, well, I mean, he paid him to do this attack. It's obvious. There's a note in the check that clearly states that it is for, remember one of them was his trainer, was for the training. And
That's
now
a lot of money for training.
So now they're getting in.
I love that. Like they had to have had a production meeting prior to doing this. Like the Young Turks, they talk about how in the production meeting they pick stories, right? And Anna's like she like can't believe what he's saying, because where Cenk's going with this is unbelievable. Like this was unbelievable to me when I watch it, and like Lord knows I have a ton of Young Turks videos on my channel. So for me to be surprised that Cenk is going in this direction has to be he's going to say something incredibly dumb. And you could see him like slowly presenting the evidence like as skewed as humanly possible. Like remember, Smollett said that he was attacked by 2 white Trump supporters. The brothers are like ethnically from Nigeria. Like, and he knew them. And it was at 3 a.m. And it was like minus 12 degrees or something like that. So they were just waiting for him. And he texted them prior to, like, when his flight was delayed. He texted them to let them know his flight was delayed. So, like, there's no... Yeah, it was a polar vortex. Thank you to... I'm going to give you credit by putting you up on screen. Right? So, yeah. Like, it's a polar vortex. And I believe that somebody looked up the temperature of when like bleach freezes, which is what they threw on him. So it's not like they were waiting around there, because bleach actually freezes above the temperature, meaning that they were below the temperature required to freeze bleach. So they literally showed up to intercept him. That's the only way that the bleach could have still been liquid. Like the most open and shut case humanly possible. But Cenk Uygur, crack detective, is going to mess up this. So, there's that. Let me swap back. Let's see what I said back then. I'm sure it was snarky.
To the evidence, and to be honest, the check is circumstantial evidence, so I think this is like the one piece of evidence that wouldn't stand up to scrutiny if it only existed on its own. Jussie, according to the police, has hired these guys as personal trainers before, So it makes sense that that check could have actually been for personal training. That being said, Jussie writing in the note portion of the check that it's for personal training proves absolutely nothing. He's not going to write in the note portion of the check that it's for you guys to stage a hate crime against me. And I will point out that this check is one of those pieces of evidence that the removal of context, the case being sealed so we can't look at the other evidence, really hurts the way that we can interpret it. Because for all we know, Jussie Smollett had a different rate that he paid these guys for personal training before. So it might not just be the Nigerians saying that the check was actually for them to stage the hate crime. It might be in the context of other personal training sessions that this check is for much more money than those were previously. But we don't know that because the case was sealed because of the corrupt nonsense that went around this case. But brace yourself, this is where Cenk starts to descend into La La Land.
Which leads.
Yeah. And so back then, I really like broke down the evidence. Like, it is technically circumstantial. If all you had was a check to these guys, then that wouldn't prove anything. But like $3,500, I think the amount was, and that's not, that's just not that much. That's just too little money. I'm sorry, that's too much money, it looks like, unless he was paying him over time, which is why you need the checks. But that's okay. Because Cenk Uygur is not going to take any, like, if I was defending Jussie in court, I would do this. But, I gotta set this up because this is my favorite part. This is what made me make the video.
Leads me to an unprecedented conclusion on the Young Turks. I have no idea what's going on. For them to drop all the charges, that means at a bare minimum, they would have had enormous difficulty getting a conviction at a bare minimum, okay?
Right.
So that's just a fact. So at least that was there.
No, Cenk, that is not a fact. No. He was close with these people. He's close with the Obamas. The Obamas were messaging the district attorney in charge of this when this first happened, or the Obamas, Michelle Obama's press secretary, something like that, was messaging them. They were very close with one another, and they cut a deal when this blew up in his face. Like, it was a weird, unusual, atypical deal for a normal private citizen to get. The cops were pretty sure. They arrested the two brothers. The brothers flipped on Smollett. Like, what else could this have possibly been? Why would these guys have attacked him and yelled racial epithets at him when they were of Nigerian descent? I think Smollett's like half white and half black, so it's not even the correct, and they knew him, so it's not even the correct racial epithet for these two guys, if you're going to go with this is a hate crime, to hurl at him. Like, why attack him, like, and make it look like a hate crime on your own? It makes no sense any other way except for Jussie staging it. Like, they didn't, like, remember, they didn't rob him. They didn't even get a sandwich out of his hand. Jussie held onto his sandwich as he was punching these guys back. And Jussie, on top of that, said that he saw that they were white dudes by the skin around their eyes in the mask. This is what led to that hilarious moment when Jussie's lawyer said that she saw a video of one of the brothers doing the Joker paint. So she argued that it's possible that they were wearing white face underneath their mask. Like, use masks to disguise your face. You don't need two face disguises. That makes absolutely no sense. And the idea that these guys, again, coincidentally, decided to stage this crime, had the correct stuff to make the eyes the only part of their body that was visible because it was really cold out, and somehow for Jussie to see that, recognize that in that moment, and that's what he identified. Like, either the Osunara brothers are the greatest mad geniuses ever, and they concocted this brilliant scheme to fool Jussie, which again benefited them in no way, shape, or form, or Jussie staged the crime. Like, those are your two options. Like, it's really not cool. Somebody says Batman wears black makeup on his eye holes. Yeah, and nobody confuses Batman because he has his chin exposed. Nobody confuses Batman for anybody. But let's see Cenk try to twist this. And Anna's reaction to this is like A+, first class all the way.
Their interpretation of the case they had. Them dropping the charges saying we had a super weak case.
In isolation, a plea bargain that favors the defendant usually indicates a weak case on the prosecution. But considering even Jussie's lawyers acknowledged that it was 2 Nigerians and not 2 white people, we know for a fact that Jussie was lying to the police.
If I had said it was a Muslim or Mexican or someone black, I feel like the doubters would have supported me a lot more. And that says a lot about the place that we are in our country right now.
We also have 2 witnesses, the Nigerians, who say that Jussie orchestrated the whole thing. Not to mention the Chicago PD say that they have a lot more evidence to support their claims and the shady nature of this deal. But Cenk just overlooks that and he's like, oh, they must have had a weak case.
Why would 2 Nigerian brothers?
This is hilarious. Because there's like little moments on the Young Turks where you get like a peak of sanity. Like somebody says something that's true. By the way, I saw Nuance Bro in the chat. And this is one of them. This is one of those rare cases where somebody is so far off the rails that they have to react. Like they have to say something. And it's just unbelievable. Like that Anna is the person. Because Anna said so many ridiculous things over the years on her end of this like tag team that's going on. So like, you know, this happens frequently, to say the least. Let's see, I got a notification. What's going on? Okay. That's weird. I got a weird flash notification. Not a big deal. Ignore it. Oh, wait, let me flip it. So I want to see Anna's reaction. This is so... Oh.
One of whom is allegedly his trainer, attack him and yell racial epithets at him.
I have to give credit where credit is due. Anna is coming off as the voice of reason in this segment. I really think that she had no idea that Cenk was going to go off into this crazy town direction. And she's like, but why would the Nigerians that knew him attack him and yell racial and homophobic epithets at him and then say it was MAGA country?
Why would 2 Nigerian brothers, one of whom is allegedly his trainer, attack him and yell racial epithets at him?
I have no idea. Were they running a scam?
Cenk, stop, Cenk. Even though I know this is pre-recorded and I know this would happen before, like he says he has no idea, and you could see Anna's reaction, like to him saying that, and it's priceless. Before they cut to the shot of Cenk, because she's like, here's this obvious statement. Even Cenk Uygur, the most thick-headed person of all time, can't ignore it. You know what? I gotta honor this with what it deserves. Full screen. All right, I'm gonna play it.
Nigerian brothers, one of whom is allegedly his trainer, attack him and yell racial epithets at him.
I have no idea. Were they?
She can't even look him in the face. She can't even look him in the face. I mean, come on. Like, she's like making eye contact, asking the question. Cenk starts the answer. He immediately looks down in shame, reassesses her entire life, and it's like, yeah, this is where this is going. And then Cenk says maybe they were running some kind of a scam. Like, come on. Like, Nigerians running a scam? That's honestly shameful of you to even suggest, Cenk. But yeah, this is elegant. This is beautiful. I think I love everything about this, and this might be one of my favorite clips of all time. I honestly, we're gonna check their video because I always link their video in the description when I'm doing a response, and we're gonna see the likes to dislikes after this. But wow, Cenk, come on, Cenk. Like, I feel like he would ask for this one back if he had the chance. Like, if he could redo this, he would ask for it back. But let's play.
Are they running a scam? I don't know.
And this is the peak moment of stupid that made me want to make this video. According to Cenk, it is possible that the Nigerians were running a scam on Jussie Smollett by staging the hate crime against him.
I have no idea. Were they
Yeah.
running a scam? I don't know.
And
Let's workshop this scenario for a second. So according to Cenk, it is possible that these two Nigerian brothers decided on their own to dress up like Trump supporters, intercept Jussie Smollett on his way to Subway at 2 a.m. in the middle of a polar vortex when Jussie just flew back into Chicago from New York. On their own, with no coordination with Smollett, they decided to purchase rope and bleach and just wait on the off chance that Jussie would go to get a Subway sandwich. And then when near impossible odds happened and they actually spotted Jussie Smollett on his way to Subway, they decided to attack him, yell racial and homophobic slurs at him, throw bleach on him, tie a rope around his neck, and say, "This is MAGA country," before taking off. Now, they pulled off this elaborate scheme that required knowledge that they could not have possibly had without the aid of Smollett or somebody on the inside in the Smollett camp, as a means to scam Jussie Smollett by making him a sympathetic figure so that they then could be arrested for the crime, just so they could tarnish his reputation. Oh my God, it makes perfect sense.
Why would two?
oh my god. Jeez. Somebody's asking for updates on Rodney Reed. We'll talk about Rodney Reed briefly at another time. Oh my god. It sounds so ridiculous when you say it out loud. Also, the best part about the Jussie Smollett case, and a lot of people don't remember this from the story, is they not only threw a homophobic slur at him, they not only threw a racist slur at him that I will not repeat because Twitch terms of service, but they also, in the creme de la creme of ego moments, because Jussie Smollett wrote this whole thing out for them. He told them what to do. And they also yelled out empire before then, because Jussie Smollett is a big star. He's a big famous celebrity, and he wouldn't want people to not acknowledge his celebrity. So it wasn't only a racial thing, it wasn't only a homophobic thing, it wasn't only a Trump supporter thing, but it also had to be specifically targeted at Jussie the person, making these quadrupling of factors that all coincidentally had to be known about Jussie at the moment that the crime was initiated have to come together in order for this to be legit. This is why somebody said this, and I'm stealing this from them. This is why actors are not writers and they're actors, because that's embarrassing for everyone. But obviously, I love this clip so much, even back then, that I'm playing it 4 times. So let's play it.
Nigerian brothers, one of whom is allegedly his trainer, attack him and yell racial epithets at him.
I have no idea. Were they running a scam? I don't know.
Honestly, now that I say it all out loud, it doesn't sound completely ridiculous at all. I mean, sure, it would have required these Nigerians to have a level of foresight that is impossible to have. And this scam has no payoff for the Nigerians without Smollett knowing in advance. I mean, if it was just these Nigerians trying to scam Smollett, then where was the scam part? Where was the part where they were going to benefit from this if they weren't coordinating with Smollett? But honestly, don't worry about all of that, because Cenk doesn't know, and this actually sounds like a reason.
Are you over 25?
Okay, this ad did not
have
need
a
to
clean
be there.
driving record? No DUIs? You can drop your auto insurance.
Oh, I could drop my
rate to
auto
as low as
insurance. That's great.
$19 a month.
$19?
How? It's
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Reasonable idea to him.
Yep.
But I will tell you this,
Okay,
though.
so the ads are supposed to play in the fades, right? It's not playing in the fades. Has that always been a thing? I mean, I assume you guys have some knowledge of my YouTube channel. Is that a thing? Pac-Man on Rogan was cringe. Was Pac-Man on Rogan recently? Sometimes, not always. So YouTube says that they'll put them in automatically, and they actually sent me an email saying that they're probably readjusting some of their ads thing, because I really do work hard to make sure that they're I try to make them not interrupting. But yeah. Well, I mean, the fades were to prevent that from happening. I kind of took them away, and they would also divide segments. So I would kind of fade out when I was done with that thought. So when I faded back in and I was talking about something else, it's not a snap jump cut. But yeah. That's the idea anyway. All right, let's get that. Let's wrap this one up.
The right wing has been wonderfully consistent on this. They are outraged. They're all over social media right now yelling about fake news. How could they have convicted Jussie Smollett in the court of public opinion without giving him a fair chance?
Cenk, no. I forgot about this. No. You can't be serious. Cenk. No. That's not real. I can't believe he said this. He tried to flex on the right wing for being correct about this all along. Like, the media gave Jussie Smollett every platform humanly possible to spread this. They tried to attach this to the vice president and the president and smear all Trump supporters. Cenk Uygur is included in media outlets that did that. And I forgot that he tries to flip it and like grandstand on the right wing for the Jussie Smollett story. That's crazy. You're delusional, man. Stop. Get help. We're going to play this in full screen. It has to be in full screen. It has to. Sorry.
They're outraged. They're all over social media right now yelling about fake news. How could they have convicted Jussie Smollett in the court of public opinion without giving him a fair chance? Oh, right, they're not saying that. They don't care about him at all. They never cared about the truth. It's just that when they thought Smollett was making it up, they were like, oh, the media got it wrong. They blame Trump people and they're the worst fake news. Oh, the media got it.
Oh my God. How many times did I put him saying that in there? And why do I not have that clip constantly playing on my YouTube channel? Oh no. Okay, we're gonna go back to one. Like, I have to see that first. Sorry. Okay.
Him a fair chance. Oh, right, they're not saying that. They don't care about him at all. They never cared about the truth.
So smug.
It's just that when they thought Smollett was making it up, they were like, oh, the media got it wrong. They blame Trump people and they're the worst fake news. Oh, the media got it wrong. They blame Trump people and they're the worst fake news. Now I don't see any of the right wing caring about fake news. And if the media.
Oh no. How did I forget that was in here? No wonder this has 250,000 views. All right. No subtitles, not necessary. Okay, one more time. Why did I do the red first and not the change? By the way, monitor Anna Kasparian's facial expression when Cenk starts yelling.
They don't care about him at all. They never cared about the truth.
Oh,
it's
God.
just that when they thought Smollett was making it up, they were like, oh, the media got it wrong. They blame Trump people and they're the worst fake news. Oh, the media got it wrong. They blame Trump people and they're the worst fake news. Now I don't see any of the right wing caring about fake news. And if the media got it wrong in blaming Jussie Smollett. Where are you guys? Nowhere to be found.
So now we've just completely lost the plot. Just like Cenk throwing the random jab at cops in the middle of the story, he tries to close it out by saying right-wing bad because they didn't believe Smollett's ridiculous story initially.
Oh, the media got it wrong. They blame Trump people and they're the worst fake news.
They're bad for criticizing the media for reporting this story without any skepticism. And the right wing is now bad again because they won't accept that Jussie Smollett's innocent based on this shady backroom deal that seals the evidence, when even the state's attorney who cut this shady backroom deal with Jussie Smollett says that this is not something that should be seen as an exoneration of Smollett.
Oh, the media got it wrong. They blame Trump people and they're the worst fake news.
Cenk, you're the one trying to fit this story into your narrative. Even Anna, who's sitting right next to you, is like, yeah, Jussie clearly was not telling the truth about certain aspects of his story. It doesn't make sense, and this is not an exoneration of Smollett. But if you are going to take this as an exoneration, Cenk, then you should be calling for the arrest of the 2 Nigerians. Because if Smollett's telling the truth, and it's possible that these Nigerians were scamming Smollett by attacking him in a way that would help his career, then the Nigerians attack Smollett, and they should be arrested and charged with that attack. Now, if the Nigerians aren't the people who attacked Smollett, then you should be calling for the case to remain open, because there are obviously 2 white Trump supporters who must have worn some kind of material that made them invisible to the many cameras that were around that are behind this crime. But nobody, including the Smollett legal team, are calling for the arrest of the Nigerians or for the case to remain open. They all just kind of want to move away from this case as if it's resolved. But again, if Smollett told the truth and he's innocent and he's been smeared by the Chicago PD and the evil right-wing media, then why aren't they calling for more arrests? It's because any way you slice this, Smollett lied, and you can throw.
All right. I honestly, I don't even need the wrap of this. Just the media wrong thing is probably my favorite thing of all time. And I'm going to, after this, just clip that part out of the original video, and I'm going to play that periodically in my YouTube videos going forward. The fact that I didn't do that before is honestly criminal. And I'm so glad right now that I'm actually watching my own videos, because I did this as a joke. Like, I'm reacting to myself because Twitch can't ban you for making fun of yourself. But oh my God, I forgot about that. That's amazing. All right. So we're like, honestly, I just wrap it up in a nice bow tie. I actually get why this is one of my like top viewed videos. It was like a hot story, Young Turks, and it's just funny. Like that video of Cenk is A+ material. And I thought I would at least do it, like, as soon as I reacted to it, like, not remembering that clip was even in there, I thought I would do it 3 times in this video because that's how funny I found it once I heard it. But in reality, I did it 4 different times. Like, come on. It's and that's not even enough. One more time, Jake. Once more with feeling, Jake.
And they thought Smollett was making it up. They were like, oh, the media got it wrong. They blame Trump people and they're the worst fake.
Everything about this is like amazing, because even Anna, and you'll see it in the like non-read version of it, she's looking at him like she's watching a nature documentary. Like she's seeing something that she probably shouldn't be seeing if not for modern technology. Cenk, what are you doing? Cenk, stop. Bad. You're a very bad man.
News. Oh, the media got it wrong. They blame Trump.
Look. She's like nodding her head. This is a nice freeze frame of Cenk right there. She's like nodding her head like, this is where my life is at. Why I don't have a zoom on Anna Kasparian reacting to this and I have a zoom on Cenk, I'll never know. But hindsight's 2020.
Trump people and they're the worst fake news. Now I don't see any of the right wing. And they thought Smollett was making it up. They were like, oh, the media got it wrong. They blame Trump people and they're the worst fake news. Oh, the media got it wrong. They blame Trump people and they're the worst fake news. Now I don't see any of the right wing.
Oh my God. Cenk, stop. I give up. Touche. You defeated me, Cenk. All right, let me scroll down. All right, let's look at the look how nice I sourced this, by the way. Everything is sourced wonderful. My hashtags: Cenk lies, Smollett hoax, TYT fail. Very nice. Let me click the original video.
Daily Harvest.
Okay, first of all, dislike, obviously. First of all, this is monetized. It's called Stunning Jussie Smollett Update. Oh my God, my reaction to this had over 250,000 views. Their reaction to this had 111,000. Their original video had 111,000 views. That is complete devastation. 789 likes to 3.9 thousand dislikes. So my video has less dislikes on it than theirs has likes. That's amazing.
Harvest makes it so
Everything.
I'm never missing
All
out.
right, I'm muting their ads because they don't get free advertisement. That's amazing in every way possible. This is a 9-minute video. I don't even know. Like, I used the same clip like 4 times, and this is a 9-minute video. Should I even bother to go read the comments? This is the merchandise shelf. By the way, I don't have a merchandise shelf, and that should be troubling to all of you. The Young Turks home with the idiots. Okay. I honestly, I would love to read these comments, but they're probably so good that they violate terms of service.